Welcome to this episode of Outside Fun, where I'll be showing you how to make a simple wood whistle. These wood whistles make great gifts because it involves a personal touch. Also, this is a fun and easy outdoorsy craft that you can do with your kids. Get the whole family involved by going on a hike together through the bush to search for a dry, fairly straight stick, which you'll be using to make your whistle. Then, once you're back at home after your outdoor excursion, you'll have just as much fun crafting the wood whistle together. Your family will cherish the memory, your kids will learn a new skill, and they'll have their very own handcrafted whistle as a keepsake. So, let's get started. I've selected a couple sticks that are about 1 inch in diameter. The length isn't as big of a concern, although I recommend that it be about 5 to 8 inches. The one stick I have is maple, and the other I think is ash. The species of the wood doesn't really matter as long as it's straight and dry, but I do find that hardwood is easier to work with. Now, the two sticks that I selected are still fairly green. This means that although the whistle will work for a while, they may stop working as the wood dries out and shrinks. That's why you'll need to use wood that is already dry. But I'm using green wood because it was easier for me to find in the winter, and for the purpose of this video, it'll work just fine. The first thing that you'll need to do is drill a hole down the length of the shaft, but make sure that you stop before you drill through the other end. The deeper you drill the hole, the deeper the tone will be. The shallower the hole, the higher pitch the tone will be. So it's entirely up to you. I used a 3/4 inch drill bit to make the hole, and I purchased a 3/4 inch dowel from my local hardware store. I'll be using the dowel a little while later to make the reed. The next step is to make a cut in the top of the shaft, about 1 inch or 2 from the end. You can use a handsaw to do this, but I'm using this sawzall instead. Cut into the top until the teeth of your saw break into the hollow chamber below. I believe I cut it about 1/8 of an inch into the chamber. Then, about 1 inch or so further back on the shaft, cut at a 45-degree angle to the bottom of the first cut to make your slit. On my first try, I made the opening a little too big. On the second stick, I made the hole smaller, about the size of the tip of my thumb, which worked much better. This is why it's good to have at least a couple sticks to work from. That way, if things don't work out on your first try, you'll not have another stick to work on. At this point, you will notice that there are little wood fibers that are all around the inside of the shaft. These little fibers can interfere with the airflow, which will dull the sound of the whistle, so they will need to be removed. Some people use a small knife or bits of sandpaper to remove the hairs, but what I find works best by far is to use fire to burn the hairs off. Plus, I like the burnt look. Next, take the dowel and insert it until it appears in the opening of the slit that you just cut. Now, cut the dowel so that a little bit of it sticks out of the end of the whistle. This will allow you to pull it back out and reposition it as you adjust it. Now, take a knife and place it on the end of the dowel. Move your blade over so that it is near the edge. Then, gently tap the blade of your knife until the blade slides through the dowel to create a flat side. Use a piece of sandpaper to smooth out the flat side. When you're sanding, make sure to put a little more pressure on one end than the other. This will make sure that there is a slight slope on your reed. When you insert the reed, you'll want the thicker end to go in first, and the flat side to be facing upward. This forces the air to slope upward toward the slit, which will help improve the sound. Now, give the whistle a try and see how it sounds. You'll need to play with the positioning of the reed to get the sharpest sound possible. Usually, what I find works best is to have the reed stick out just a little past the beginning of the opening of the slit. You'll notice that moving the reed even a 1/16 of an inch will have an impact on the whistle's sound, so take your time to get it right. Now that you know where the reed works best, take it back out and spread some wood glue on the rounded part, making sure to avoid the flat side. Insert it back into the whistle shaft, and again, test the whistle to make sure that the reed is back into the ideal position. Now leave it overnight to dry. Next, cut the excess dowel off. And cut the underside and sides of the whistle on a slant to form the mouthpiece. Finish it off with a knife. I didn't sand the mouthpiece smooth because I like the imperfect nicks that the knife leaves behind. It gives the whistle some character. And let's see again how the whistles sound. This next part is optional, of course, but I purchased a wood burner in the craft section of Walmart, and my lovely wife burnt my channel name into the one whistle and the outside fun axe symbol into the other. Using a wood burner is a nice way of personalizing the whistles. Next, I took some boiled linseed oil and I rubbed it into the wood. Afterward, I removed the excess with a dry rag. This will help preserve the wood while bringing out the richness of the wood itself. I just want to give you a word of caution. Rags that have linseed oil on them have been known to spontaneously catch on fire when left sitting. So you can either burn the rag once you're done, or drench it with water and leave it outside to dry. And here's the final product. Now, get out there with your family and have some outside fun. But before you do, become a fellow outsider by subscribing to this channel, because there's more videos where this came from. Thank you for watching.